Most celebrity couples look like they have a perfect relationship, but the ones on this list were, honestly, toxic, and they got destroyed by some pretty awful secrets. When it comes to Khloe Kardashian, I would say one of her most toxic relationships, in the sense that she can't seem to let go of it or escape it, and probably that isn't great for either party, is Khloe Kardashian's on and off again romance with Tristan Thompson. Throughout the years since 2016, the two have been together and have broken up multiple times. The worst part of this relationship is basically all the cheating that happened, and the fact that while it was happening, these two were having kids, trying to raise them. Tristan cheated on Khloe multiple times, sometimes even making her look like a fool in public when she was praising him, just in time for a cheating or paternity issue to come to light in the press. Fortunately, Khloe has ultimately decided to move forward with her life. While the two do remain amicable for the sake of their kids while co-parenting, she has said that she is completely done in regards to pursuing or having a romantic relationship with Tristan at this point. Honestly, even though this next relationship sounds like it had a lot of crazy ups and downs and a lot of problems throughout it, this is a couple I've kind of always rooted for a little bit. And while today they're no longer together, I still kind of root for them today, separately obviously. Interesting. We're talking about Eminem and his ex-wife Kim Scott, often known obviously as Kim Mathers. The two met when they were both in high school. Kim was actually a teenage runaway, and she was actually 13 when she met Eminem, who was 15. He immediately seemed to take a liking to her, and seeing that she needed a place to stay, he brought Kim home with him to stay with him and his mom. His mom also liked Kim and she wanted to help her out. She said that she saw Kim as a challenge, someone who she hoped she could make a difference with and make her life better. In 1999, Kim and Marshall were married, but previous to that, they actually had a daughter together, their famous daughter, Hailey, who was born in 1995. Eminem and Kim have been married twice, but neither time worked out for them, despite them having an extremely lengthy on and off again romantic relationship together. Today, they are close friends who co-parent 3 children together, one of which is Kim's son by an ex-boyfriend, another is their niece, the daughter of Kim's twin sister who tragically passed away, and the third of course is Hailey, who is now all grown up and actually recently got engaged. For a lot of people, the age difference as well as completely different vibes of these two made their relationship kind of a strange one. We're talking about Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. Honestly, I too feel this is kind of a weird pairing. I feel like these people have just such different vibes, but hey, sometimes opposites attract, I guess. At the same time, I feel like Pete must have some kind of allure to him or something. He's been attached to so many beautiful and talented women. What's his secret is the question. For Kim, she said that she was attracted to his sense of humor and just really loved that he made her laugh. Honestly, I feel like after Kanye, maybe this was a relationship that made sense when you think about it, because I feel like Pete is very different from Kanye West. I mean, this next one seems like it was an unhealthy obsession that may have happened on both sides, or at least on one of these two sides. We're talking about a fan favorite relationship, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Initially, after they broke up, it seemed as though Justin could not let Selena go, and even expressed in interviews after their breakup how much he still loved her. Both accused the other of cheating after their breakup, but would years later come back together briefly in 2017 before once again going their separate ways. It was after they split up that Hailey, who had dated Justin in the in-between times, Hailey Baldwin, showed back up and stole Justin's heart, and then the two ended up being married later in 2018, only a few months after Justin and Selena had once more decided to call it quits. Khloe Kardashian seems to be stuck in a constant cycle of just various bad or somewhat toxic relationships. One of the worst ones she was in was a few years back now though, and that would be her relationship with Lamar Odom. What made this relationship so toxic? Well, actually it started off not being super toxic, just being kind of, I think, a bit much for some people. It seemed to move a bit too fast for most people's tastes, for one, which really was only reflected back as being an issue later on in the relationship when they had some other problems. These two ended up getting engaged only after a few weeks of dating. I've been in relationships for years, honestly, and not been engaged, so for me, that feels like it would be moving really fast in terms of just my preferences. So I'm like, wow, that's a quick engagement. But while it might seem like that engagement would be short-lived because, of how fast things moved, these two still did end up getting married and were even together for 4 years. So honestly, impressive. Considering how fast they move, I'm just amazed by that. Tragically, the toxic ending for this relationship came from struggles with substance addiction on Lamar's side of things. This ultimately led to the end of their relationship, so it didn't end great, but at least they tried. It seems like Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, or MGK, might have some secrets that they are working through consistently. I feel like they're always having some issues that they have to work through. This couple has seen some major highs and major lows throughout the years, and I think a big part of why so many people have strong feelings about them is because a lot of people just don't like the two of them together. I think a lot of people just don't like MGK for Megan. Most people think Megan kind of like downgraded, I guess, when she went for him, but to Megan, she said she felt an instant connection with Colson Baker, MGK's legal name, when the two of them met on a film set where they were working together. Megan is super into astrology, and she just basically felt that on an astrological level, they were in essence destined to basically be soulmates. She has said that despite what the future holds for their relationship, she will always feel a draw to MGK, as she sees the two of them as being each half of one single soul, saying that they are basically twin souls, and as such, she'll just always be tethered to him in some way. Harry Styles ended up creating some drama both on set and in the life of Olivia Wilde. And Olivia Wilde also obviously has her part for creating that drama. It was rumored that they got together on the set of Don't Worry Darling when Olivia was still married. She apparently kept her longtime fiance and father of her children, Jason Sudeikis, away from the set, citing COVID as her reasoning, as he usually would visit her at set. But some think that she actually wanted to do this because she just wanted to hide her infidelity from him. However, this is all speculation, but what we do know is less than a year after meeting on set, Olivia and Harry attended a wedding together as one another's dates in 2021, going public with their relationship. It was a dramatic relationship and would ultimately result in Olivia separating from Jason, who she shares 2 children with, and with Jason serving her court papers regarding the custody of their children while she was in the process of presenting Don't Worry Darling at CinemaCon in 2022. Very dramatic. Needless to say, the pressure was probably too much for Harry and Olivia, whose relationship ended in late 2022, less than 2 years after they went public. Hearing Rihanna talk about how she felt after it was revealed that she was mistreated by Chris Brown was interesting and honestly somewhat hard for me to hear. Rihanna went on to say that after it was made public what Chris had done to her, she kind of felt this weird feeling. She felt kind of like bad for him and actually wanted to be there for him and console him. While she understood, of course, what he had done was wrong and bad, and she condemned that in her mind, she also felt he didn't deserve to lose his entire career, and weirdly felt some shame and guilt in regards to being a part of that and wanted to like be there for him through it, even though she was like, it's really weird. You feel this really weird sort of two sides. This is also something a lot of folks feel in relationships of that nature, victim blaming themselves even, so it's as weird as it is weirdly common. Is this next relationship the most toxic of all time in the celebrity world? I'm not sure, but if it's not, it's at least like gotta be really high up there on the list. This relationship happened between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Yeah, we're talking about that relationship. We all know it because most of us were probably keeping up with the legal battle between them and later found ourselves completely enthralled and somewhat consumed by the dramatic court case that unfolded between these two. I think the court case stands for itself, and if you're not familiar with it, you can go check it out. It's all out there for you. Oh boy, I would hate to be in a case like that. It's like so much of what happened between you is public, and you're also just firing shots back and forth at each other. Crazy. This next one was toxic because of the speculation surrounding the relationship and exactly when it really started. We're talking about Kylie Jenner and her first long-term relationship with Tyga. What was so controversial about this? Because Tyga was so much older than Kylie. That's a lot of the controversy here. These two met in 2011 but denied that they started seeing one another at that time. In fact, they even claimed that when they appeared to be closer 3 years later, with Tyga even throwing a birthday party for Kylie's 17th, that they were not dating at that time. This is despite the fact that Tyga shortly thereafter would get Kylie's name tattooed on him him and also end up buying her an expensive car. Oh, and he also called off his engagement to the mother of his child, Blac Chyna, which happened reportedly days after he threw Kylie her birthday party. However, Tyga still insisted that he hadn't left his fiancée for Kylie, saying that that would be ridiculous. But for many, this doesn't seem too ridiculous considering everything else that was going on at the time and the fact that the two did end up later dating for 2 years. So that's about it for this one. Until next time, remember to be kind to yourself and to each other and drink water. It is good for you.